Welcome back to Real Talk with EJ. We are back with a sharp dose of motivation, served with truth, with a sprinkle of pure vibes. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, send to your friends, and hit the notification button so that you can get preview about all new episodes. And for my listeners that are tuning in from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Acast, Spotify, and all other podcast platforms, thank you for tuning in. It's such an honor to have you all here with me. So today is rather a special day for me because I have with me somebody that I admire so much. She's my fairy godmother. And today we are going to dive deeply into a topic that is also something that all of us, one way or the other, we suffer from, which is consistency in the face of failure. So without further ado, we're going to go on a really quick break. So when we come back, we're going to go into the quote of the day, analyze the quote of the day, and talk about our topic and introduce my guest. So stick around, we'll be with you shortly. All right, welcome back to Real Talk with AJ. So, you know the usual, our tradition here. But before I even do that, guys, I have to introduce my guest. I'm sorry, I can't wait. I'm too excited. She's my fairy godmother. She is somebody I've admired from afar. And the time I got the chance to meet her in person, I actually went for a conference and I heard her speak. I was in awe. I was like, how can one human being carry so much power and so much knowledge and so much wisdom? And when I got to speak to her, she is literally the nicest person you can ever come across. Please help me welcome my fairy godmother, my friend, my mentor, Lady Manti Umo.
Thank you. Thank you. No, it's good to be here.
Thank you for coming. I know I have been hounding you, like I told you to
No,
come.
you haven't hounded me. You've just been so pleasant, like pleasantly patient, and it's like, are you going to make it today? Just, just be sure. So today I couldn't, but just be here on time.
Thank you for honoring
I'm
me.
happy to be here.
Thank you for honoring
And you
me.
do great work too.
Thank
I must
you.
start by saying that, yes.
Thank you.
I listen to your programs. I listen in, I watch. Beautiful.
Thank
You're
you.
doing well.
Oh my gosh. See, guys, I'm already tearing up. See, for your mentor to look at you and tell you you're doing great, you're actually doing something great. So,
Yeah, do more. You should blush at this time, but you know you're
see,
black.
I'm turning red, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mama, you know how our tradition here.
Yeah.
First of all, we start by analyzing our quotes for the day. So our quotes for today is simple. Is this: perfection is an illusion. Perfection is an illusion. Focus on just being the best person that you can be and being better than you were yesterday. Perfection is an illusion. We all want to be perfect. We all want that perfect thing. I want to wait for the perfect time or for the perfect person, and we fail to just try and be perfect today or just be better than you were yesterday. So, what do you think of this?
2 days ago, I did on my podcast.
Yeah.
I talked about every day thriving to be the best you can be because that's the best that there ever is. And when you say perfection is an illusion, it just goes to show that there'll always be higher standards for me. There'll always be much more to attain. But it's accepting how much you can do and not being comfortable in mediocrity per se, but being comfortable in what the best you put in. But then that's also evaluating your best by questions like, was this the best I could really put in?
Yeah.
How much more could I have stretched? What difference have I made with this thing that I put in? What difference have I made first for myself?
Yeah.
How much energy, how much intelligence, how much knowledge, or what did I do? The best could even be you trying to sleep for an hour more to save your health.
Yeah.
So when we talk about perfection, how do you measure perfect sleep? I love to sleep. I don't get enough time to sleep. And so perfection is an illusion, and it depends. We feel everything is tangible. Everything can be measured.
Yeah.
Not everything in life is measured.
Measured, no.
So
No.
life isn't even measured. You can't really say you can hope to live for 80 years.
Yeah.
You may live for 100 or you may not live up to 40.
Yeah.
If you can't measure life, which is the value of everything that is, how then do you measure the things, the components of life? So you take them as they come.
As they come.
How much water can I take? How much can I run? Yes, you have goals to attain. So I want to
Yeah.
run as far as can run.
Yeah.
But I have been able to do this, and this is the much I can do today.
Yeah.
That's perfect for today. So I think that I would rest easy with the last part of the quote, which says, we do our best at every time that we're given an opportunity and time.
Yeah.
Just do your best, and
Just
that's
do-
fine.
There's a funny thing. Like you said, who measures perfection? Like, what's perfect for me might not be perfect
Yeah.
for you. So having that universe, I'm waiting for the perfect time to start. I think I read a quote that says, if you're waiting for the perfect time to do anything, you will never get it done, because there
I agree.
isn't a perfect time
Perfect.
for anything.
Not
Just
at all.
jump, just go at it. So before we do, just dive in. So, Lady Mansi, just tell her, like, I call you my fairy godmother because you have experienced I've heard you speak. You're an entrepreneur. You are a life coach. I'll call you a therapist because you.
Thank you.
So how did you get to that point? How did you become this person that carries so much knowledge in one human being?
So, aside all the scientific evaluations that put into consideration high IQ, high EQ, which is your adaptability quotient,
Yeah.
emotional quotient,
Yeah.
intelligence, and all that,
Yeah.
I think that I grew. Life grew me. God grew me. Because there are people that life happens to, and they break. So life meets you, you break. But life meets you and it strengthens you too. And so I'd say that God grew me, honestly. When I evaluate the things I've been able to do, achieve, accomplish, I see very little. So it's you talking about doing your best. I even never feel that I've done my best. But I stop when I know I can't go further. And I keep pushing till I can't. And then I stop and then I raise my hands. And then I take up more strength and I push again. I think that life has just grown me. And that's through God. So every situation, I would rather take the lessons. There are times I used to fight with the situations of my life. But then as I grew, I acknowledged the fact that God is in the midst of those situations.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, it's not about religion, it's about my faith. My faith is in God. And
Yeah.
that's where the foundation of my reality is rested. So I believe in miracles. I believe in faith. I believe in depending on God.
Yeah.
So in the things I believe in, which are constituted by my belief in God, I believe that every process of my life had been preordained. And even when I don't see how the lines will cross. So
Yeah.
recently I said to a consultant doctor for me, I said to her, we had a conversation on her moving to Akwa Ibom State. And I said, oh, if you were in the north, you would have done ABCDs. And she just says to me, but these things can also be done in the south. And then just at that minute, I said, and you wouldn't be my consultant if you hadn't come back. So God knew at this time of my life.
You will need her.
And so I don't keep mentioning God to be spiritual. It's just
Yeah.
that there's this relationship that exists between us,
Yeah.
and which is the foundation and the partnership to every other thing that people see me exude. So it's like I have quality relationship with him.
Yeah.
And from there, I exude my persona.
Yeah.
That's the person you see. That's the person
Yeah.
you meet. And it's not even just about just speaking. I think that there's a place of peace that comes from it within that makes people feel comfortable with me.
Yeah.
People feel comfortable to share their broken days
Yeah.
and they don't feel judged. People feel comfortable to share the most scary experiences of their life.
Yeah.
And I go back and I'm like, why
Why
me? This burden, like, guy, you shouldn't have given me this burden, because sharing this is more burden.
Yeah,
Come on, you would have held it in. And the person just safely trusts. And, you know, the thing about it is that while that is happening, I become that person. So one of the things in every of these quotients is my ability to become the process a person is going through.
Yeah.
That's the strength from which everybody feels that I'm being kind. I think
Yeah.
it just works. It not just empathy. It goes with a lot of other things. My friend says something. She says, I'm careful about the people that are around me, because I become who they are.
Who they are.
They are at that time. So
Yeah.
if you're broken, it messes with my emotions. I feel it when
Yeah.
you're not coordinated.
Exactly.
I feel it when the pieces are not together. And I feel more essentially in all this that the essence of humanity, or the essence of your existence and mine,
Yeah.
is to collaborate, to live.
To live.
So-
So God said, "Man shall not be like we like." It is not good for man to be alone. So we are not created.
So you
to
see,
be
people just think that is
yeah.
about marriage. That's not just
Yeah,
about
it's not,
marriage.
it's not.
But even if we want to affiliate it to marriage, marriage is a collaboration by two individuals
Yeah.
to live together, work together. So our coexistence is a marriage,
Yeah.
marriage of different sorts of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So accommodating you isn't to your good, it's to my good.
To my good
If
as
I'm
well.
able to accept you, if I'm able to understand that, okay, probably she loves white, I love brown. My acceptance of who you are
Yeah.
is the first process to being able to support your existence. So that is for me that for me is the foundation of what it is that I exude and what I become
And
every
that
day.
in itself is what adaptability quotient is. For me
Yes.
to be able to adapt to who you are, and you adapting to who I am,
And
then we can
accepting that this
coexist.
person
Yeah.
cannot be like you.
Exactly.
So I think that more often than not, because of the world context and the things that we have come to learn, we're trying to make people we're trying to do God's work. So the only place in the Bible that you've heard, let us make, is in the beginning,
Yeah.
where he said to the Trinity, let us make.
Yeah.
He didn't ask Adam, let us make
Let us
trees.
make.
He
Yep.
made.
And
So
put Adam there.
everybody has been made. What we try to do is to convert pineapples into fish. We're saying to the pineapple, please just become fish. Like, can you just swim? And no, this thing has been made.
Yeah.
And accepting that this is a pineapple and this is
Fish.
we eat either, but either of them have separate purposes. When we begin to accept people like we accept the classes of food,
Yeah.
we're able to not try to make them into people that they are not,
Yeah.
but to accept them wholly as they are. Therein lies the peace and ability to support each other,
Yeah.
to marry our differences,
Yeah.
to partner, and to grow.
What makes that so hard? Like, it is so hard. Like, you see a group of people and there's so much hate. I've always wondered what the foundation or the root of hate is. Why is it so hard for me to see you and say, you know what, you are you and I'm me and I love me and I appreciate you for you without judgment? Why is it so hard for us to be able to accept, okay, this is fish and this is pineapple. Pineapple, don't try to turn pineapple into a fish and vice versa. Like, what is that thing?
It is that I feel that the first thing is selfish interest. And then number two is that our lack of acceptance of ourselves. You won't
It
hear
starts
the
with
fish
you.
ever come out of water and struggle on land to go to the pineapple farm to try to make pineapple fish.
Yeah.
It's understanding the concept of humanity. Everything has been made before, and we're struggling to change things that we have no power over. It's accepting what you have power over. What do I have power over? I have power to be your friend,
Yeah.
but I can't force you to be my friend.
Yeah.
So there are certain times when I explain the theory and somebody says, oh, Miss Banti, I saw you with Eno. So this is just an example. I'm like, oh, or somebody says, Manti Eno is your friend. And I say to the person, I'm her friend. She isn't my friend. It's a choice. So people think, no, this person doesn't. No, it's not that she doesn't like. She hasn't accepted me at this level
Yeah. Yeah.
So I understand that I am in this place to do this for her, to provide friendship for her.
Yeah.
She isn't in that place
To do
to
the same
give.
for me. Yeah.
And I walk with the understanding that this is what this person is called to do. So that is why sometimes, so even we goes in transit into relationships. So you see people buy our everyday dogs in Nigeria. So I'm taking different contexts. Yeah. They buy everyday dogs and expect it to act like a Rottweiler. That dog was made for that. Like, why are you expecting a coon cat to behave like, this is just what this is.
Yeah.
Accept it. It will not bark sometimes when they are thieves. It's afraid like you. But I think human beings need to get to a point, or humans, and I have this friend that keeps saying, why do I call people humans? I'm like, it's just to remind us of where we come from and what we are. We are consistently struggling to do what is not our business.
Our business.
We're struggling to change people. We're struggling to understand. And we're not dealing with what it is we've been provided to do.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes we miss out at our best.
Our best, yeah.
Because you're trying to play at a level that you don't belong.
Yeah.
You're trying to do the things you're not called to do.
Yeah.
So you miss out on the things you're asked to do, mandated to do. So struggling, you talked about why do people hate?
Yeah.
I think people hate because they don't even know how to love. And to love, you need to understand how to love yourself. How do I want to be loved? That's a question. So you hear people talk about relationships and like, I want a man that will love me. He has to love me a lot. And I'm like, it's not his work. It's your work to love you.
Because no matter what that man does, you will never be satisfied.
Because you don't even understand what love is, what you want. So you can't communicate.
Yeah, even if it's giving you what you actually want or what you need, you won't see it because you don't even know what that is. You haven't recognized it. You haven't worked on yourself.
Absolutely.
First.
So if you don't even understand, so what is peaceful coexistence? You must love peace to want peaceful coexistence.
Yeah.
To see trouble and say, this thing that I will do is about to bring trouble.
Yeah.
Let me not start it.
Yeah.
But to not love peace is to bring trouble.
To bring trouble. My problem with people, like people that get into relationships, are like, I mean, it's common among women. We feel like we are always at the receiving end. I want. He has to give me. I have to get it from here. But we never stop to ask, what are you giving? What are you offering?
So I beg to differ when it says, or that women are more at the receiving end. I think that the difference, why people think women are more often than not the ones that expect to receive, especially when we talk about our culture, it's because women are more expressive. Okay. The man comes with his group list, his broadcast list. Yeah. He has his Facebook group, his Instagram posts, his tweets about how he's going to be selfish about himself. The thing is that our men are not that expressive. So he comes, he's already said, I'm tall, I'm slim, I'm fine. I want a girl that is tall, slim, fine. Yeah. That is how he's job hunting. He's hunting for animals that fit his need. Yeah. Just because he's not... The hunter doesn't go around in the farm or the bush shouting, here comes a hunter. Yeah, true. But you see, the animal that is captured is the one that makes the most noise. Jumps off the tree, comes through, says, hello, I'm on my way. Yeah. You're just setting up yourself for the prey. So it's that our men come with the understanding of what they want. Yeah. And whether they need it, we scream about what we want. And so it's more often that, the woman is... You still see that lady come with her 10 to-do lists of the man she wants. Yeah. And then she marries someone and you're like, I can't even find 1A. What's going on?
But I think the problem now is we scream about what we want and not what we need.
I agree. Perfectly.
What we need. Because what you want might not necessarily be what you actually need. You might feel like, I want somebody
That's why you need to learn to love yourself. Yeah. I have this senior friend, Uche, that keeps... emphasizing on self-love. Yeah. There comes to a level that you love yourself, to levels where you do not allow other people define what it is that you need. Yeah. I.e., you see women grow and say, I want to have a baby, I want to have a baby, I want to have a child. And get a child, adopt a child, do surrogacy, do an IVF, do something. There are options, medical options. There are provisions for you. No, I'm waiting for a man. Like how?
If it's not from the man, I'm not having a baby.
I don't get. And it's a particular man at that point that you're waiting for. But there are 1,001 men that have either donated their sperm cells. They have children that are looking for parenting. There are people that are looking for adoption. Until you really know. So what exactly do you want? You want a baby.
I want a baby.
It's understanding that this is my need. The other things are wants. I want a tall, dark, and handsome. That's a want.
That's the one.
You can't do without it. What is your need? The baby.
Because you might get the tall, dark, and handsome, but what you actually need is someone that treats you with love and respect. And the tall, dark, and handsome,
you as much as you respect yourself. Tall, dark, and handsome comes and he's full of himself. He too is looking for the respect. You people are trying to struggle for the small oxygen in the box. So yeah, I think that people aren't taught to hate. I think people love as much as they know how to love themselves. And it's and for Africa most, especially having worked in the education sector for this long, I think that a core is missing in what it is that we teach our children to become as adults. And that core is social and emotional learning. In social and emotional learning, as a child, you're taught to love yourself. You're taught to accept who you are. You're taught to manage your emotions. So, you see, a child just begins to throw a temper tantrum and you're saying, what's happening? The child can't, so someone says, I'm angry, I feel angry. Why are you angry? What is it?
What's triggering that?
Yes, what's triggering it? When we begin to understand our triggers, we're able to also understand our needs. So, you just had a meal and you get here and you're hungry because there's food. You need to understand. Is it because you saw something you like?
Or are you really hungry?
Or didn't you have enough? Or are you greedy?
So paying attention to those details, so far you can know.
So that is how, when we learn to pay attention to ourselves, we pay attention to the emotions we exude or we receive. You could have a bad day and walk in here smiling, and everybody is at peace. There are people, that bosses that have a bad day and they walk into a space.
You would know it from the gate.
I have a bad day. Like, don't even annoy me for that. Why did you leave this cup here? Do you know I have a bad day? Like, how is the cup now the problem in your bad day? So people learn to love if they know how to love themselves. And it goes to the problems we have. So the Taliban, we go into world issues, have been taught to fight, to conquer. They feel that a sense of entitlement. If I want to win,
the desire to win. Desire to win. And because of the desire to win so much, we take losing as, oh my God, is the worst thing. And I've come to learn that actually failures aren't actually what we think failures. The failures are opportunities for you to do better. But because we are taught to just win, conquer, win, be number one, we don't take not winning so well.
But you see, people don't, in understanding the concept of winning, you need to understand what a win is for you. So a person has been battling with cancer for 30 years. And then he dies. I think he's won. People think he lost. No. His body has rested. That's a big win. From the chemo, the injection needle, the torture, the sleepless nights, the closed lymph nodes.
For the family as well.
For the family. First for the person. Because I'm thinking, you go through all this. That's a win. A lady lives a domestically violent, or a lady or a man, because men get domestically violent too. That's something else. But Or so let me say a man lives a domestically violent relationship. That's a win. People say, oh, the relationship didn't work out. But that guy just won his sanity.
Yeah, his life. Let's start there.
Do you
His
get
life, he left with his life intact.
Exactly. Absolutely. So for me, winning is dependent on what your goals were. I don't want to be in front of the camera.
But just list them, the 3 things that you live by.
Being true to self. Being true to self means, am I happy with the decision? If I'm unhappy with it, why would I be unhappy and still make the decision? Number 2 for me is understanding why I am here. There are certain decisions I will take. There are certain things I cannot do. And there's so many other things I will strive,
and must do.
Must do.